Hello everybody, welcome to Pigskin Preview. David Johnson will be joining us as usual in just a little bit. We'll be talking about the games coming up on Friday night. But right now, this is Steve Whitley, the athletic director at George Walton Academy. And what I want to talk to you about, Steve, is maybe the move from the Georgia High School or the Georgia Independent School Association over to the GHSA. I, for one, wasn't convinced that you were going to be able to be competitive in this league, and obviously I got fooled. Were you expecting to be as well off as you are?
Yeah, basically I was. Of course, the main reason we joined was because of travel. We were traveling to Macon, Augusta every week for every sport, and that's the main reason we switched. But we figured, because we play all these teams in middle school, a lot of them, and we figured we'd be about like it is. But it's been worked out well for us, and we're happy with it now, especially the less traveling. 15 miles versus 70 and 80 works a lot better.
Most of you have to go to Macon a lot.
Yes.
What's the furthest you travel now?
Towns County and basketball and softball. Yeah. We have to go. That's really the only long trip we have. Of course, Warren County we play in football, but that's not a bad trip getting on I-20. So really, the average is between 15 and 20 miles, so you can't beat it. Really, Bud and Monroe and Lowville have it for us traveling properly.
Mm-hmm. I know with the new classifications coming up, and we're sort of jumping in midstream here, but any idea where you're going to end up next year?
Oh, we expect to be in the same region with everybody. I know what they say the social circle might move up to AA because their numbers are more than ours, but we expect to be right in the same place with most of the same schools.
So will it stay 1A or? Yeah, I guess it will. You just said social circles moving to AA.
That's what we hear. We don't know, but I think they had more, in numbers from last time. They had more students than the rest of us did. So, but I thought we hoping the region would just stay the same. Maybe, of course, I wish they would stay in it, but I think they're going to have to move up.
And that count was just done last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had sent it about 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay. And that's 9 through 11.
9 through 11.
Okay. Have you been able to generate any rivalries that maybe you didn't have with you and Giza?
Oh yes, of course. Athens Academy and Prince are big rivals. We've always been rivals from Athens Christian because we used to be in the same league with them about 10 years ago. But I would say Prince Avenue and Athens Academy. We thought Social Circle would be our main rival, but it really hadn't worked out that way. It's been Athens Academy and Prince so far. So.
All right. You're in second place in the region right now, football-wise. That's got to make you happy. Didn't turn out as well as you'd like against Prince Avenue, but Don's got him a good football team. Yes,
he does, and we knew we were losing the running backs we lost last year. We would be down, but we get a little bit better. We hope by the time we play Commerce that if we beat them coming sucking, maybe the playoffs we'll gel just right. But we have a lot of work to do. Coach Don has a lot of work to do before then, but we're looking for good things.
How long did it take you to make the decision to move to the GHSA?
Oh, we've been thinking about it probably 4 years, and we didn't do it 2 years ago. 4 years ago, but we knew the next time around we probably going. We've been talking about it for 4 or 5 years. It just didn't come up. We've been talking about it.
And again, that was the travel stipulation.
The only reason we left was travel.
Yeah.
So we love the GISA. I mean, I've got to say that we loved it, but it just the travel time and had to take, especially in spring sports, had to take kids out of 5th and 6th period was just too much.
Let's talk about some of the success you enjoyed last year, not just in football, but had some good track and field, cross country, basketball teams too. So obviously this is a well-rounded school as far as athletes in all sports.
Yes, we take all the sports serious. That's, of course, academics are our main reason, but we take sports serious. But all our sports, our volleyball does real well, softball, cross country in the fall, and of course the basketball teams have traditionally been strong, and wrestling has always been traditionally been strong. So with swimming and spring sport, but everything we feel we're competitive in. A lot of things we want to get better in, but we're happy with most of it.
When you go out, or I don't know if recruiting's the right word, what's a good selling point to try to get a kid to come to George Walton?
Well, the main reason our small classes, I mean, most of our high school classes, we only have 12 or 15 in a class. A lot of people don't know that, but that's our main selling tool. It's the one-on-one participation with a teacher. And a lot of people, I know that, of course, all schools are short of money, but I know the public school numbers, they have to have a lot of people in one class, but our high school classes average about 15 per class. And that's my biggest selling point when I'm talking with everybody.
As far as coaches, when you made the change, is that going to allow you to bring in more, or I don't know if better coaches is the right word, but is it going to change your staff, or has it changed your staff?
Well, it's changed a little bit how we approach it, in that in the GISA, the teacher or coach did not have to be a certified teacher. We used a lot of part-time people, but Georgia High School grandfathered in what we had, but they were not doing it anymore. So if any of our coaches, like in wrestling or some of those sports, leave, we're going to have a tough time, because we can't get rid of a teacher just for a coach, because we're going to present problems when we have some of our part-time people leave. We haven't really thought about that. Hopefully it doesn't happen in the next 2 or 3 years, but it has made us look at it different, because number one, we've got to have teachers that teach our subject area right before we have coaches, and that we definitely could present us some problems.
All right, we're running out of time, but I want to mention your softball team. Heather Dokes has done a great job with that group, and they won the region, and right now trying to get eligible to go to Columbus.
Oh, we're real excited about it, and of course our softball program has always been good. What I've really been excited about the last 3 weeks is, a lot of times teams, when they play weaker teams, they play down at our level. But over the last 3 weeks, I've noticed no matter who our softball team is playing, they take care of business. They're going to accomplish what they want to do instead of fooling around. And I wish our football team has got to get a little more of that attitude. But I'm real proud of our softball. Like I said, if we win tomorrow, we'll be heading to Columbus. So we're real excited.
All right. Congratulations on what you've done the last couple of years to your whole staff and everybody here at George Walton, and it's going to get better and better and better.
Thank you, Danny. We're looking forward to the future.
All right. All right, now let's join David Johnson. We'll talk about football games coming up this week. All right, I want to thank Steve Whitley from George Walton Academy for joining us. And now, of course, we're with David Johnson. David, first of all, before I forget, good column this week in the Wednesday paper about comparing the social circles situation in the Monroe area. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's it's tough on the social circle folks right now. I understand, 2-8 last year, missed the playoffs first time in 9 years, and they're looking down, an 0-10 season this year, and it's just been really bad. But when you compare that with, you look at what Monroe went through when Coach Flick first came, 5-35 their first 4 seasons, 20-game losing streak. Like I said, I don't think if I'm in charge, I can't say, I don't pull the plug and say, thanks, Coach, we're going to look somewhere else. But to their credit, they stuck with him. And, last year, historic season. This year, they're looking like another playoff berth. And the funny thing is, they're really young this year. The next 2 years is when they really ought to be good. So, a little object lesson for social circle. Hopefully they'll, hang in there and realize that hopefully better times are on the horizon for them.
All right, looking down the schedule for this Friday night, on paper it doesn't look like we got a lot of close ball games, but who knows? Start off with Loganville at Flowery Branch. Flowery Branch, probably one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the state, and everything says they should win it easily.
Oh yeah, this is one, and it's strange turnaround here for Loganville. It was looking like, when you look down the schedule heading into this game, this was going to be a do-or-die game for the Red Devils. They looked like they were going to have to win this one to stay in the playoff chase. But lo and behold, last week Salem gets beaten by Cedar Shoals. Salem, of course, the team that was ahead of Loganville in the standings and had the tiebreaker because they beat Loganville earlier. But Salem gets beat, and suddenly now Loganville has a clear shot to the clear path to the postseason. Not an easy path, certainly.
No, it's not.
But a clear path. Before, they pretty much had to win out, which included beating the 3rd-ranked team in the state this week. Now they can actually lose this game, win their next 2, and they're probably in for a school record 4th straight season.
And you're right, it's not going to be easy. Habersham Central with their quarterback, and I can't think of his name. I think it's Kevin Williams, but I may be wrong. Anyway, one of the best players in the state, and then Appalachia got off to a slow start. So this week 1, it's 3 one-game seasons now for Loganville.
Yeah, and it's funny, Cal, it's kind of history's repeating itself, because last year, if you remember, Loganville had to go to Appalachia and win to get in the playoffs, and looks like it may be setting up that way again. So.
It could be. All right, also this week, George Walton and Social Circle, and as you said in your column, 2 teams going in opposite directions. another one that shouldn't be close, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, you don't play them on paper. That's why they put it on the field and play it out. But yeah, this one's probably not going to be that good of a game. You would think you're hoping eventually this is going to develop into a nice cross-county rivalry. Two county teams. Right now, it just may take a while. Both of these teams need to win this game. George Walton, obviously, to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot, and Social Circle just to turn things around. They just need a win for their morale, if nothing else.
And I was talking to Steve Whitley a few minutes ago. He said right now it looks like Social Circle is going to go up to AA next year. And when you make the correlation between Social Circle and Monroe area, there's where you throw sort of a kink in the plans, because Monroe made their presence not like going down.
Sure.
And Social Circle, if it goes up, that's going to offset some things.
Well, but going up, you have to remember they're going to 6 classifications next year. So going up doesn't mean quite as much as it would if you stayed with 5. They'll still probably be with some teams that they can match up with. So we'll just kind of have to see how when the reclassification comes out, we'll have to see how things fall out.
All right, Monroe area is going to be at home on Friday night against the West Hall team that's only 2-5. Monroe is 5-2, but West Hall 2-1 in the sub-region. They still got a lot to play for. And did Monroe leave it on the field in Gainesville last week?
Right. Yeah, that's what you got to wonder. They spent a lot of emotional capital on that game, and it was a great ball game for them. It was a lot closer than the 20-point final score showed. West Hall, they lost their first 4 games, but you look at their schedule, who they were losing to. They were losing to some of the top teams around. So that 2-5 is a little deceptive. They've got a great 6'5" quarterback that can throw it all over the field. They've got a running back to go with it. Huge offensive line. This is going to be a really tough test for Monroe, and emotionally, they really need to get up for this one.
Monroe's cut down a lot on their turnovers since the first of the year, so they're a team that's gotten better every week.
Yeah, Floyd McCoy, he's gotten a lot better. He was a steep learning curve there, coming in your first year, coming over from defensive back to quarterback, trying to run that triple option. That's a lot to ask of a guy, but he's come on and cut down on the turnovers. He's learned how to run that offense, and so he's made them a really explosive team.
All right, we talked about whether Monroe left it on the field last week. Gainesville goes over to Walnut Grove on Friday night, and maybe a good time to catch the Red Elephants.
Yeah, that would be a tall order. That would be a tall order. Yeah, I mean, Gainesville would have to be really down and help Walnut Grove, and that's not taking anything away from Walnut Grove. But you're talking about the 9th-ranked team in the state, an established program that's in the running every year against a Walnut Grove team that's just getting its feet. And it should be a lot better than last year's 55-6 game. And as I noticed earlier, Jonah Gwynn, the quarterback, he was just coming back from that shoulder injury last year in that game and was still not really 100%. He should be full go this week, and so I think it'll be a better game. I think Walnut Grove will make a good showing of it, but come out of there with a win, that's going to be a tall order.
All right, Loganville Christian School is going to be at home. They're coming off a big win last Friday night against Unity. Loganville Christian is 6-1 on the season, 3-0 in the sub-region, or the region. They only have North regions and South regions. And it's homecoming on Friday night at Loganville Christian School. Covenant's going to be on the road, and I think the Cougars play they're at Unity this coming Friday night. So they're still in the playoff hunt too, so things are interesting down in that league also. The weather's supposed to be cleared up on Friday night. Hope you'll get out and see a high school game, and join us next time. We'll have more Pigskin Preview for you.